Alright, so this is part 2 of section 5.1, which is over angle bisectors and incenter. So start off with some definitions and theorems. An angle bisector is another special segment, ray, or line which divides an angle into two congruent angles. So this angle, so BH is an angle bisector of the angle MHP because it splits MHP in half. So MHU is going to be congruent to UHP. The same is true for each of these angles here. So the angle bisector theorem says that if a point is on the bisector of an angle, then it is equidistant from the sides of the angle. So any point on this line here is going to be the same distance to both of these sides. The converse of that says that if the point in the interior of an angle is equidistant from the sides of the angle, then it must be on the bisector of that angle. So, in other words, if I know that this side here is congruent to this side here, say, then I know that this line here must be the angle bisector. So the Incenter theorem says that the angle bisectors of a triangle intersect at a point called the incenter that is equidistant from the sides of the triangle. So this point here, U, is the same distance to the same distance to each of the sides of the triangle. So UP is the same as UB, which is the same as UM. So, some examples. In this case, we know that this is an angle bisector. So, if PA is 8, then PC is also going to be 8. In this example here, if we know that both of these are 4, then we know that this is an angle bisector. So if X, Y, W is 23, then we know that W, Y, Z is also going to be 23. Alright, so you should pause the video and try this one on your own. So, BA bisects angle YBF. I ask you to find each of the following. So YBA is going to be 47 and YA is going to be 8. So example 2, they said that MR is the angle bisector of NMP. So MR is the bisector of NMP. Find X so that the measure of angle 1, if the measure of angle 1 equals 5x plus 8, the measure of angle 2 is 8x minus 16. So what we know is if MR bisects angle NMP, then angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. So we can say that the measure of angle 1 equals the measure of angle 2. Then we can substitute those values in, because we have, that's 5, so 5x plus 8 equals 8x minus 16. We're going to subtract 5x from both sides, and we get that 8 equals 3x minus 16. We're going to add 16 to both sides, and we get that 24 equals 3x. Going to divide by 3, and we get that 8 equals x. So again, you should pause the video and try this one on your own. So hopefully you had time to do that. So in this one, we're asked to find QM. So start off with the fact that 2x plus 2 is going to equal 4x minus 8, because if this is an angle bisector, then these are congruent. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides, and I get that 2 equals 2x minus 8. I'm going to add 8 to both sides, and I get that 2x equals 10. Divide by 2, and I get that 5 equals x. And then since I'm asked to find QM, I'm going to plug that in, and I get 2 times 5 plus 2, which is 10 plus 2, which is 12. Alright, so point U is the incenter of triangle GHY. So we're asked to find each measure below. So first I'm asked to find the measure of PHU. And if this is the incenter, that means that these are all angle bisectors, which means that if I know that PHU is 21, then I know that if I know that MHU is 21, then I know that PHU is also going to be 21. So finding HU is a little bit more difficult. We know that PH is 12, and we know that PU is 5. We also know that this is a right triangle. And since this is a right triangle, because of this right triangle here, we actually can use the Pythagorean theorem to say that 5 squared plus 12 squared equals HU squared. So I get that 25 plus 144 equals HU squared. So 169 equals HU squared. In order to get rid of a square, I need to take the square root. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And I get that 13 equals HU. So you should pause the video again and try these two. Alright, so if I know that U is the incenter, then U is equidistant to each of my sides. So if UP is 5, then UM is also going to be 5. And again, that means if this is the incenter, that means that each of these are angle bisectors. So if I'm asked to find UGM, that angle measure is going to be 28. And that's it.